Hey everybody, it's Charlene. Today I'm going to show you how to create lots of different cards using small stamps. These are the new decorative tile stamps from Hero Arts. They're a lot of fun, so let's dive right into our first card. Since these are already perfectly lined up, I'm going to go ahead and leave them on the sheet rather than trying to line them up on my plate. So I'll remove that top piece of acetate and I'm going to put them directly on the plate. I'm going to get them nice and lined up. And then I'll just use some removable tape around the edges over the sides of the acetate in order to hold them in place. Okay, I have these all taped in place all the way around the edge. And now a fun way I can use my small stamps is to do some ombre stamping. I'm going to take this awesome ombre ink pad I have here. This is the Spring Brights, and this one as well. And this one is the Spring Day. So I'm going to line these up here so that they're in rainbow order. We'll have pink, red, orange, to yellow, to green, to blue. And when you press these down on your stamps, you do want to wiggle just a little bit so that way the color kind of overlaps in between each of those stripes of color. So press, wiggle, and that's going to get all the areas of the stamp. Then I can flip my plate over and press this down really well, lift it up, and we're going to have this beautiful ombre stamping. Now, when I'm working with most of my inks, I do like to double stamp, so I'll come in with a second layer so that I can darken up those colors and get some more even coverage. I'm also going to bring the yellow down a little bit more, and I do that just by holding my pad at an angle. Flip this over and press and lift it up, and look how beautiful that's starting to look. Now I can come in with my second ink pad here. This will be the greens and blues, and I'm going to bring this up so that it just goes over the yellow slightly so that I can blend these colors into each other. So press and wiggle, and get that ink down on your stamp. Now we can press this down and lift. Oh, that looks so good. I want to bring that green up even more and blend it out a little bit, so I'll show you a trick to do that. So I'll get my ink down here on the stamp going up into the yellow with the top green part, and then I'll bring in my blending brush and just tap along the edge there between where the green and the yellow will meet. That's going to soften things so that you don't get a hard line from the yellow into the green. Now we'll flip this and press down and lift. And look at that beautiful result, so pretty. For my next card, you can see I've taped this down at an angle now. So it's going from corner to corner on my A2 size card, and I'm going to stamp out the entire thing in some intensified black ink. If you're using a different kind of stamp, one that's not geometric like these, do put them in 3 rows. I find that rows of 3 look really nice on cards. The human eye is much more attracted to odd numbers than it is even numbers. So make sure to get a good amount of ink down on the stamp as well. And for this technique, you do want to use an alcohol marker friendly ink because we're going to be doing some coloring once this ink dries. Once I have those nice and covered, I can flip my plate. Keep in mind this does create the opposite of what you have on your plate when you flip it over. So it's going to go the opposite direction and lift. Oh, that looks so cool. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this one more time. And it helps to work with an ink pad that you've recently re-inked because you're putting so much black ink down onto the stamp. So I'll press this down, lift it up very carefully, and now we have this beautiful set of black geometric shapes to work with. I'm going to come in here with some alcohol markers. I've got a red and an orange too, and I'm going to color in the white spaces on these geometric tiles. First, I'm starting out here with the red, and then I'm going to add in orange. You could color each of the stamps in so that they're one color. So you could do like one of the tiles in a red and one in an orange, one in a yellow, green, do a rainbow theme. But I'm just working with the 2 colors. I thought they would work really well together. And I'm including both colors in each of those stamps. So that way they create kind of a cohesive look all the way across the card front. I find that stamps that have some type of black outline work best for this technique. So there's our finished second card panel. Let's move on to our next panel. We're going to be doing some silhouette stamping. This tends to work best if you have solid stamps, and when you do your coloring, you want those solid stamps to hang out on each side of your ink blending. So I'm looking here to see how far in I want to bring my masking tape. So I'm going to move this up a little bit so I can see how thick my tape is when it's down on the card panel. And I can see here that if I just take this tape right to the edge, that there's still going to be a fair amount of the stamp that is going to come over onto the masking tape. That'll make more sense as we move on here. So I've got the masking tape down on each side of my card panel. I just am using the excess that's on the edges to help hold this down on my glass mat. And I'm going to bring in 3 colors here. I've got periwinkle, amethyst, and azalea. And I'm going to do these blended down on the horizontal. So I'm bringing in the azalea first, and then I can bring my amethyst up so it blends into the azalea. I'm going to give the ink some time to dry before I do a second coat, but I'll come in with the amethyst now, working it into the brush, and I'll bring it right across the center here. You'll see I'm going slightly larger than 1/3 of the way on the card, because that way there is some space between each color where you have both colors. Now I'll come in with the periwinkle, which is a really nice blue color, and I'll bring that up on the just slightly more than the bottom third. Once this is all dry, I can come in and add my next layer. It doesn't take very long, but layering your inks is what's going to help them blend really well and help build up the color. Once I'm happy with the amount of color, I can go ahead and remove my masking tape. This is always so satisfying to see. You see that crisp white line on there. It's just beautiful. Now, since I do still have black ink on my stamps, I'm going to go ahead and make sure this is just nice and centered on my plate here and tape it down rather than put it over the top of my ink blended panel to place it. You could put a piece of acetate or stamp packaging, something like that, so that way you wouldn't get any excess ink onto your card panel if you wanted to do it that way. So I've taped the edges around again, and I'm coming in with that intensified black ink, pressing it down, lift it up, and look how cool that looks. Now I do want to bring in a second stamping with that intensified black. And this tends to happen especially when you're working with silhouette stamps. You do need to stamp a few times so you can really get all of that black. Now, I did drop my press plate accidentally. You can see I got a little bit of ink where it shouldn't go, but we'll make it work. I've added some reinforcement here because my stamp was trying to escape. So I've cleaned everything off. I have that reinforcement, and I'm going to bring in some masking tape for this technique. Now, this masking tape's not wide enough to completely cover a row, so I'm going to do this kind of in sections to make it a little bit easier on myself. I'll start by putting a piece of masking tape above the second row there, and I'm going to bring in some orchid. I'll stamp this orchid. Really, my goal is to get that line that's right underneath the masking tape, get that nice and inked up. I don't care about the bottom row. You'll see why. We're going to cut these out once we get everything nice and stamped here. So remember, take your tape off. I almost forgot there. And now I can press down and stamp. I'm going to do this a second time so I can really get a nice amount of color down onto my card panel. Remove my tape and then flip and press. Next, I'm going to bring in my masking tape, and this time I am going to go ahead and cover the center line because I'm going to stamp the top portion here in Fresh Lawn. That center line, you're going to see we're going to stamp in a different color in just a moment. But I'll stamp this out in Fresh Lawn and making sure to get a good amount of ink, remove my masking tape, flip this over and stamp. Lift it up. Oh, it's already starting to look so good. Put my tape back again, and put some more ink down so I can do a second stamping to really build up that color and get rid of any little white spaces that didn't get colored the first time around. Remove my tape, flip, and press down. Okay, now I've got to color in the center line that I haven't stamped yet. So I'm going to go ahead and take 2 pieces of masking tape, one that I've already used and another one, and I'm going to cover the 2 rows that are on either side of the center row. I'll bring in some deep ocean for this, so I'm going to ink this up. I do have to press a little bit harder on this. Remove my 2 pieces of masking tape and flip and press. Now what I'm making here, you could use for your entire card front. I think it would look really pretty just like this. You also could do each of those lines in different colors. That would look gorgeous as well. But I'm going to cut these out to do kind of a fun technique that you can do with your smaller stamps. I'll bring in my paper trimmer and I'm going to cut out the strip of green, the strip of blue, and the strip of purple. I'm just going to line up the edge of each of those squares with my guide on my paper trimmer and cut these all out. Once I've cut all of them out, I have these fun 9 squares, and you can see I have them lined up there on my glass mat so that there's about 1/4 of an inch in between all of them. Once I have them lined up, I'm just using some low tack tape here to stick them together, and I'm going to stick them all together to make it much easier on myself when I put these onto the card. It's much easier to try and get everything nice and straight and laid out before you actually stick it onto the card. Now, if you're working with something that is not a square geometric style like these stamps are, it still looks really cool to stamp them out in squares. So if you're using critters or hearts or flowers or whatever it is, it would still look really cool with this technique. I'm going to come in and add some foam tape to the back of all of these squares. And now I'm going to put this down on a piece of granite cardstock, but I'm going to rotate it so that it's a rhombus. And I'm going to flip it over first because I want to go ahead and trim off the sides. And it's actually a lot easier to trim off the sides when your papers are touching. So even if you've already applied your foam tape, you can always flip something over in order to cut things off, and then you'll still be able to make sure you get that nice straight line. Ideally, I would have done this before I added my foam tape, but this is just a little trick for you in case you're like me and you tend to get ahead of yourself. So now I can take this, I've removed all the release tape from my foam tape, and I'm going to start with the left-hand side and just work my way across, laying it down all the way onto the right-hand side. Remove my masking tape, and now I have all of these pretty popped up squares. It just looks really cool. So here are all of my different panels that I've created with these 4 different fun techniques. And you can see I've cut a couple of the panels down and added a matting layer, and then the others I just left full size. So I'm going to show you now how I finish all of these cards off. For the first 2 cards, I used the Essential Messages Stamp and Cut XL. These are really great sentiment stamps. You can see you have all kinds of different sentiments for all of your life events, as well as dies that you can use to cut them out. Here on this card, I use the I Miss Your Face sentiment, love it, and I heat embossed this in white on pitch black cardstock and die cut it out. Now for this second one, I used the Happy Birthday sentiment, and I just stamped that directly in between the 2 lines of squares. For my other 2 cards, I used the Smile Friend Stamp and Cut XL. So you have these 2 gorgeous word dies here, Smile and Friend, and then you have lots of fun little sub-sentiments that you can stamp and cut out into strips, and you can put them above or below those word dies. So for this one here, I did Friend, and I cut it out in white cardstock, and then I also cut it out in some silver glitter paper, and I layered those up with a little bit of a shadow. Now for this one, I used the Smile word die. I cut it out 3 times, once from white, once from Paradise, and once from Vellum, and I did the 2 bottom layers as a shadow. And then I put a sub-sentiment there, "You brighten up my day," and I heat emboss that on some more of the Paradise cardstock. All right, everyone, I hope that you picked up some tips and tricks today. Please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell. That way you'll know about future videos here on the Hero Arts channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.